Hi guys, I'm back, it's Chiefy. I am going to show you my process while I was working on this painting of Makima from Chainsaw Man. I watched it on the weekend before and Makima really just stuck in my brain, so I had to do a little sketch. It's happened before with Ellen from Nosferatu and now it's happened with Makima. So obviously blocking out the face, I changed the eyes quite a lot as it goes. From here they are just kind of too large. I am trying to work with sort of normal proportions of eyes halfway down, etc., but just a bit too big. Obviously having to really kind of pull her chin to be really sharp. She's got that very typical like anime chin, very kind of delicate shape. Just getting in the planes of the face that I know. Later on for sketches, I changed, the angle of her eyes. I pulled them just down because while I wanted the eyes to be half lidded, having them looking up like that, it looked really odd, so obviously just pulled them down. I also shrink them later just because having them so large it makes her look quite friendly, and she's very much I wouldn't say she's a friendly character. She comes across as one, but absolutely not. Blocking in the eyes, blocking the tie, obviously they're dark, just sort of getting in the shirt creases and just tidying up like around the edges and putting in the rest of the hair. Yeah, it's here that I start doing a little bit of a cleanup of just kind of like applying some lighter colours to, clean up the shapes of the hair and adding in some grayscale. So I use the reference of her hands from the OP because I love the shape. I think it's a really interesting pose. I have these kind of ghostly, so I don't need to worry about like adjusting her shoulders or lifting her arms. It's just kind of like superimposed over the top as like ghost hands, like creating the box. Right, I start putting in the grayscale here. This is just very rough. I'm going to put a gradient map on over this, and you'll see that happen very quickly as well. So yeah, just blocking in the shapes. Pink is a funny one because red tones, they need to be very dark, so I stuck with that. Alright, gradient map is in. Again, it makes a huge difference very quickly. And what I did with the gradient map was that I adjusted the values on the gradient map so that the very darkest shades actually go to that very bright aqua colour. It really just kind of pops them out, and obviously I've just popped the eyes in, they are unaffected by the colours. And then I used the colour of her skin from the screenshot to sort of paint over the skin, and obviously did the same with the hair from the screenshot as so to use the like gradient map as a underpainting. Right, the hands are lined in as well. This is basically now just kind of, the tidy up, going over, putting in the like shine on the hair, readjusting the facial values, painting them in just sort of directly now. So to use the black and white as just kind of like the basis for the gradient map, but very early on, and then just to go from there. Normally I will paint things in more with the gradient map and then add the colours, but for this one I wanted to switch it up a little bit. Yeah, you can see the sort of Art Nouveau style that inspired like the hair shape as well. It kind of very much curls and flows into each other, creating those different tendrils. Moving the hands out the way so I can just paint in the colour. I added quite a bright splash of pink onto the hair for the lighting, just because yellows weren't fitting the palette, whereas the pink was. Obviously we have the yellows on the back of the shirt, but it looked really strange on the hair. Yeah, adding in those blue underlights because I applied a colour dodge quite early on, which is what made that blue on the shirt really pop. And I don't normally use colour dodge, but for this one it looked really interesting, so hey, why not? It looked cool, so that kind of inspired the whole like, sort of very intense underlighting, which is why it's on the hair, it's on the nose, you can see it on the jaw. Yeah, just redefining the shape underneath her eyebrows now because it had gotten a bit lost and a bit washed out. Adding in the underlighting that hits on her lips and her nose and like the undersides of the eyes. It's important to think about how just kind of the topography of the face changes and what is higher, what's going to catch that light, and obviously the undersides, the eyes are. Yeah, just adding a little bit more pink as well to the higher spaces that are being hit by a light from the top left. You'll have seen that move. For some reason, the whole canvas got shifted at some point. I'm not really sure why or how, but it did. They fixed it, I guess. Yeah, a little bit more underlighting. And just noodling around the nose. There'll be a zoom in as I work on the eyes as well, just because it's such a small space. Oh, the balloons, there it is. So I work on this over on Twitch. This was essentially a practice for me after I'd done a load of stuff in the day and I had some inspiration to keep painting. So like I said, I work over on Twitch at twitch.tv/chiefyarts because it helps me focus. But yeah, you can see me adding in colour to the eyes. She has very sort of illuminated eyes without the light really having an effect on them, so I really wanted to paint in a lot of those yellows, use a little bit of the pink, but otherwise have them kind of working off of their own colour palette in comparison to the rest of the painting. Taking the hands again. Yeah, just kind of tidying up the final details on the face. You'll also see that adding that lightness to the corner of the eye really sets the plane of the face there. It just makes it look so much better, like the second that gets added in. Right, we got background. I started off dark background and then I thought about the window in her office that she has. And so keeping the colour palette, so working with those kind of sherbety colours, just putting them around in the background and then adding in the window shape. I adjusted the height of the window bar to create a cross because of my personal suspicions and headcanons of her. So, hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I work on stuff like this over at twitch.tv/chiefyarts. So if you want to see it live, you can find me over there. But cool. Thanks.